This is a very busy week of aspects. So there is going to be a lot of energy shifting and moving.
Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast, where practical spirituality meets real life. Hi, I'm your host, Sheetal Story. I'm a psychic medium, grief support counselor, professional astrologer, and a human design reader, and of course, a law of attraction master coach. With my unique blend of spiritual and practical tools, I am here to help you align with your soul-led purpose and ignite a life that sets your soul on fire. In this podcast, we are going to explore the principles of energy, astrology, spirituality, and psychology to help you heal your grief and create an aligned life and business from the inside out. Whether you are looking to deepen your intuition, understand your cosmic design, or transform your business, this podcast is for you. Join me each week for insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories that will guide you on your journey to living your very best life. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Sheetal Story or wherever you listen to this podcast. Let's dive in and start this transformative journey together. Welcome to the Story of Spirit podcast.
Welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of Monday, October 7th to Sunday, October 13th. We start out the week on Monday in a first quarter phase of the moon in Sagittarius. This is a very busy week of aspects. So there is going to be a lot of energy shifting and moving. And I feel like as we're coming to the end of this year, we just came off that eclipse. So there's a lot changing in relationships, and we are really being asked to follow our heart, follow our intuition. This Sagittarius energy is very much very positive, very ambitious, very, looking to the future. We might be even thinking about what we want to manifest for next year. I already am in that vein as well, in terms of what am I doing now to finish off this year to set me up for the year that I want to have. So that it likely might be on mind for you, or might be coming up for you to start planning for some things next year. So on Tuesday, October 8th, we have Venus in Scorpio trine to Mars and Saturn and Cancer. There is a lot of water energy with this aspect, and it's going to be a very supportive aspect, enhancing passion and harmony in relationships. This is a favorable time for deepening emotional connections and expressing affection. This energy supports collaborative effects and nurturing relationships with care and understanding. This watery effect is going to really ask you to have boundaries with the emotions and asks of others. So Venus is what we love and value, and Mars is our egoic will to move forward. And we want to have deeper connections and relationships with people that feel aligned for us. So there's going to be a lot of expressing of emotions and affection, and there can be something to just be aware of, feeling possessive or intense with that energy. So just being aware of that. Also on this day, Mercury in Libra is trine to Jupiter, and Jupiter is stationary retrograde. So he's about to go retrograde tomorrow. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, optimism, and good luck. And when Jupiter goes retrograde, it's a time now to think about what really brings you luck, what brings you expansion, what feels like joy for you. And in Jupiter, it's about information, connection, curiosity. So this Mercury trining, Mercury is our mind, our thought process. This is a really harmonious aspect to foster optimistic and expansive thinking, particularly in communication and learning. So it's a great time to revisit and expand on ideas and plans that you've put on hold, or you might notice that you're kind of starting to think about things that you once thought about, like it's coming back from the depths of the vault of your brain, that you're like, hey, I put that idea on hold, or I was thinking one day I'd write a book. This is write a book energy, and what would I like to write a book about? So that might be something that comes up for you now to start thinking about or speaking about more. Mercury is also our communication and communication writing, right? And then Libra is about communication with people who want to do things with us that's collaborative. Like this can be very collaborative energy. So you might have an awareness that comes to mind about doing a collaborative experience with somebody. So creating an event or a workshop, or maybe just thinking about who do I want to collaborate with. That might be great. On Wednesday, October 9th, we have Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. So this is now Jupiter moving into kind of moving slower than the Earth. So retrograde just means that a planet is going slower than the Earth. And when it's going slower than the Earth, its effects are now introspected. So this is going to invite introspection and reassessment of your beliefs, learning, and communication. This period is ideal for reflecting on the past decisions and seeing deeper understandings of why you chose what you did. Expect a shift in how you approach growth and expansion. And as I was saying this, I got sort of the vision or the download of like all the things that you have learned. If you have taken classes on things, you read a book, whatever it is that you have been learning over the last year, when Jupiter moved into Gemini, what are you doing with it? Right? Are you just learning it for the sake of learning it and putting it on a shelf? Or are you actually using it? A lot of those courses are still available to you. You can go back and relearn them or refresh your memory. That's a retrograde word, refresh your memory. So I would encourage you to think back over the last few years. What have you been learning? Like if you took an Intuition 101 class from me, you can go back to those Intuition 101 classes in the Facebook group, because that's where I have the replays, and re-listen to the meditations, re-listen to, are you calling in your spirit guides? Are you using your boundaries? How are you nourishing your body? These are all things that we talk about in Intuition 101. On Thursday, October 10th, Venus is now in conjunct to Jupiter. So an in conjunct is a need for adjustment between two planets. There's sort of they can play nice together, but you got to sort it out. You got to figure out how they're going to play nice together. So we've got Venus, which is what we love and value. She's in Scorpio, right? So she wants depth, she wants connection, she wants intimacy, and Jupiter is retrograde in Gemini. So it's thinking about thinking. It's going back to expansion. And what are we wanting to expand? So this energy is about really understanding what relationships expand us. This can be misunderstandings or conflict in relationships. And the challenge is going to be to reconcile intense emotional needs with broader ideals or expectations. So careful navigation is needed to avoid overindulgence and unrealistic demands. So Jupiter in conjunct to Venus can be overindulgence. It can also be, the word I'm looking for is feeding your hunger in ways that are not so positive. So it can be shopping, it can be drinking, it can be drugs, it can be like doing too much of something that is not really helpful for you. So just noticing where you do that in your life. On Friday, October 11th, Pluto finally moves direct in Capricorn. And this is the last time, so it's still going to move out of the last degrees of Capricorn, but it's the last time it's going to be in Capricorn for 230 years. So that's how long Pluto takes to go all the way around the zodiac. And still in Capricorn, it's going to go finally its last foray into Aquarius, because it's kind of been like dipping its toe, coming back out, dipping its toe. And this is really good for us because we as humans need the toe dip, right? We need to sort of experience this expansion. So Capricorn is all about patriarchy. Not necessarily just all that, but there's patriarchy, there's tradition, there's ways of doing things, it's government policies, and it's breaking that up. Pluto is death, rebirth, and transformation. So it has been going back and forth, trying to sort of break up the last remnants. And I think where we've been seeing that in politics in the world is bringing to the surface all of this old patriarchal garbage that has just been sitting there and waiting for it. And I think, when we're seeing in US politics is really flushing that dirt to the surface to be healed. And we're seeing that now with women's reproductive rights being very, very loud in the US news and politics. And this is the last remnants of it. Like Pluto is going to really bring this stuff up for us to heal it, because Aquarius is about elevating humanity and consciousness and really all of us being there for each other, right? So it's one love. why are we doing this if not everyone gets to win? Right? So Capricorn is, the patriarchy and hierarchies of systems, and Aquarius is like, there is no system. We are all one. We are here for each other. So Pluto needs to break up the last bits of this so we can really bring some social change to the table. And I think that's what Pluto is doing. And it's interesting because Pluto is going to be in the sign of Capricorn when the US elections happen. So it's like the last few degrees, the last finishing of this era right now is going to happen right at the time of the elections. And it's kind of wild when you look at that and think, this timing is very interesting. Everything happens for an opportunity. Everything is divinely timed. Nothing is coincidental. So noticing that and just paying attention to what is happening and how it feels like it's a moving target, where the division in the US feels like it's starting to heal a little bit, and there's still division. So Aquarius will come in to heal that division. Mercury is also in conjunct to Uranus on this day. So that is a lot of challenges to do with communication. So you can get a lot of surprises on this day if you're not someone who likes surprises. Just expect the unexpected, as I like to say. But your agenda is not going to go as planned on Friday, October 11th. So just leave space for unexpected changes, unexpected insights, and Uranus can bring excitement too. So something exciting can come in and they're like, we're all going for pizza, put away your computers. And you're like, I have so much work to do. And pizza's pretty cool, right? So depending on your schedule and your flexibility, you will have a very different experience of this day if you can build in flexibility and be open to shifts versus being beholden to an agenda. On Saturday, October 12th, Mercury is going to be in conjunct to Neptune. This is going to act like a Mercury retrograde. And this is going to be in play for the majority of the week. So because Neptune is moving very slow and Mercury is moving kind of a little bit slower still, as he's out of retrograde, but it's still a little bit slow. It's a final degrees of Neptune. So it's going to be an aspect to Neptune. And this inconjunct is a 150-degree angle. It's a need for adjustment. So these two planets, one is communication and one is the fog and confusion. And so these two planets working together, if you stay in your intuition, you're channeling information, or you're really being mindful this day, you're going to navigate it better, which is Saturday. But like I said, we're going to feel this all week. I feel like we're going to even feel it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So this aspect is going to be in play for a bit. And you want to really be really be present to communication. So who are you sending the text to? Who are you sending the email to? Is it the right person even? Who are you talking to? Are you gossiping? No gossip this week. I mean, even gossip in itself is it's a trauma bond, right? We're talking about people behind their backs. And why are you doing that? Because that's how you find bonding, is by talking about people. Then there's some healing that's needed there, because what you judge, you cannot receive. And what you judge is actually parts of you that you've rejected. Ooh, just dropped a little bomb there. So Mercury in conjunct to Neptune, creating a misalignment between rational thought and intuition. This aspect may bring confusion or idealistic tendencies in communication. It's a day to focus on clarity and avoid misunderstandings. So really seeing things as they are and reflecting back to people. This is what I heard you say. Not a good day to have a deep conversation about something meaningful that you're trying to get clarity on or trying to get some closure on. Not a good day for that. On Sunday, October 13th, we have 3 aspects to round out the week, and it's going to bring you into next week. So Mercury moves into Scorpio, and Mercury in Scorpio wants depth and intensity in communication. It's going to make us more intuitive. It's exploring hidden truths and engaging in transformative conversations. It's a powerful time of research and uncovering deep insights. Great for therapy as well, by the way. And then since Mercury is entering into the first degrees of Scorpio, it is now going to square Pluto. And Pluto, remember, is death, rebirth, and transformation. So Mercury in Scorpio challenges this square to, it's going to be intense focus on power dynamics and controlling communication. This aspect may lead to intense discussions and confrontations. It's essential to handle power struggles with care and insight. If you are staying in your heart space and you notice that someone is getting triggered, I want you to remind yourself that a trigger is an unmet need. So when you're noticing in the world, this could be very intense uprising and conflicts in the world as well, that people are saying hard things, or there's some transformation trying to happen, but we need to break through our old ways of thinking. Scorpio rules ancestral trauma and lineage, thoughts and beliefs that we come in through the lineage, because Scorpio is sort of ancestry and healing. So that part of it can come up for you too during this time, right? Where did you learn this? And what are you breaking free from within your lineage? And then lastly, on this day, we have Sun trine to Jupiter. Finally, a light aspect that can help us out. So Sun in Cancer harmonizes with Jupiter, and this is positive energy for emotional growth and expansion. This aspect supports nurturing relationships and personal development. It's a good time to focus on family, emotional well-being. This is great brunching energy, but keeping topics light. Or if you want to have deeper topics in conversation, because that's Scorpio Mercury, noticing if there's any kind of triggering aspects coming in, or if you can unpack something with a friend that can hold that space and really be a neutral third party. So that is an intense week, my friends. There is a lot going on, and everything is happening to bridge us to where we're supposed to go for 2025. So just noticing what's coming up for you, what you've been thinking about, if you're feeling more intuitive, if maybe there's an opportunity to develop your gifts in a deeper way, or something's coming to the surface, who can support you in that? Where's some great teachers? Who can you approach with more information? What books can you read? What podcasts can you listen to? These are going to be great questions that this Mercury, this mind that is so active and looking for seeking knowledge and wisdom now, is going to be supported with. So wishing you a wonderful week of introspection and just being a witness out into the world.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Story of Spirit podcast. I hope you have found inspiration, support, and practical insights to help you align with your soul-led purpose and live a life that sets your soul on fire. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Your support helps us to reach more listeners and continues to provide valuable content. I sincerely appreciate every share, and I know it is how most people find me. It is because caring people like you have shared me with them at the right and perfect time. For more resources, insights, and to connect with our community, please visit us at www.shetellstory.com and follow us on Instagram at shetellstory. Remember, your journey to a more aligned and vibrant life is just the beginning, and I am here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, stay aligned, stay inspired, and keep shining your beautiful light. This is Shetell Story, signing off from the Story of Spirit podcast. Here's the legal ease that's required by our lawyers. This podcast and the YouTube channel represents the opinions of Shetell Story and her guests to the show. The content should not be taken as medical, psychological, or financial advice. This series is informational and entertainment purposes only. Because each person is so unique, please consult your healthcare professional, your mental health dream team, your financial advisor, or anyone else that's an expert in the field in where you are thinking of making big choices in your life.